What if I told you a story that sounds like it was ripped from the pages of a Hollywood script? A tale so improbable, so utterly defying the logic of the modern music industry that you'd struggle to believe it. What if I told you that a 20-year-old girl, an athlete at the pinnacle of her sport, a gold medalist who had just achieved the dream of a lifetime, single-handedly, with no record label backing, no multi-million-dollar marketing budget, no slick billboard campaign plastered across Times Square, took a song from the depths of the charts, from number 41, all the way to the #1 spot on the global Spotify chart in less than a single week? Not with paid promotions, not with a calculated label push, but with one pure, unadulterated performance, one carefully chosen song, and one utterly electrifying moment that captured the collective imagination of the entire internet and refused to let go. This isn't a fairy tale. This isn't hyperbole. This is the incredible, undeniable, and utterly captivating story of Alysa Liu, PinkPantheress, and the chart run that absolutely nobody, not even the artists themselves, saw coming. To truly grasp the seismic impact of this moment, to understand why it resonated so profoundly and hit so differently from anything we've seen in recent memory, we have to rewind the clock just a little. Picture this, February 19th, 2026. The world's eyes are fixated on Milan, Italy, specifically on the gleaming, pristine ice of the Cortina Winter Olympics arena. The air is thick with anticipation, tension, and the weight of dreams. It's the women's singles figure skating final, arguably one of the most glamorous and fiercely contested events of the entire games. And walking into that arena, a figure both familiar and yet utterly transformed, is a 20-year-old phenom from the sunny Bay Area of California, a young woman named Alysa Liu. Now, Alysa isn't merely a newcomer, a fresh face on the global stage. Her name, even at such a tender age, already carries the weight of history in the sport. She first stormed onto the national scene, making headlines and dropping jaws, when she won the U.S. championship at a breathtakingly young 13 years old. That monumental achievement made her the youngest national champion in the entire storied history of U.S. figure skating, a prodigy born for the ice. But the path of a prodigy is rarely straightforward. After the intensity of the 2022 Beijing Olympics, still barely past her 16th birthday, Alysa made a decision that shocked the skating world. She stepped away. She retired. She hung up her skates, at least professionally, needing, as she later articulated, simply to be a teenager, to experience a slice of normal life, to find herself away from the relentless glare of competition. But the ice, as it often does, called her back. And when she returned, she wasn't just older, she was hungrier. Yes, but more importantly, she was freer. She was on her own terms, charting a course dictated solely by her passion and her artistic vision. Her free program at the Milano Cortina Olympics was a testament to this newfound liberation. She skated to Donna Summer's iconic, sweeping, and undeniably dramatic MacArthur Park. It was a bold, theatrical, almost defiant song choice, the kind of track that most coaches, focused on technical precision and conventional appeal, would probably shy away from, deeming it too risky, too unconventional. But Alysa Liu isn't most skaters. She wasn't just there to execute jumps, she was there to tell a story, to command the ice, to make a statement. And she did. With every spin, every perfectly landed triple axel, every expressive gesture, she captivated not just the judges, but every single person in that arena, every eye glued to a screen around the world. The moment the music faded, a collective breath was held, then released in a roar of applause, and when the scores flashed, the arena erupted again, this time in joyous pandemonium. She had done it. Alysa Liu was the 2026 Olympic gold medalist, bringing home America's first women's singles figure skating gold in an astonishing 24 years. The internet, already buzzing with Olympic fervor, absolutely lost its mind. Alysa Liu, with her distinctive, ethereal halo braid, her infectious genuine smile, and her sheer unadulterated joy, instantly became one of the most viral, most beloved athletes of the entire Winter Games. But here, my friends, is where the story, already remarkable, takes a truly extraordinary turn. 2 short days after etching her name into Olympic history, after standing atop that podium, Alysa was back on the ice. Not for another medal ceremony, not for another grueling competition. This was the Exhibition Gala, a cherished Olympic tradition, a celebration. Think of it as the Olympic version of an end-of-year talent show, a chance for the medalists and fan favorites to simply have fun, to express themselves without the crushing weight of judges, scores, or pressure. Just pure, unadulterated vibes. And Alysa Liu, ever the artist, showed up ready to perform, dressed in a brand new, custom-designed, dazzling dark blue dress, shimmering with thousands of bedazzled crystals, complete with a matching choker, an ensemble that screamed pop star more than traditional skater. And then she unveiled a program, a moment, that the internet, indeed the entire world, was completely and utterly unprepared for. She glided out onto the ice, a confident, radiant smile on her face, and the opening notes of Stateside by PinkPantheress and Zara Larsson, the remix that had been steadily climbing global charts, filled the arena. What followed was nothing short of a revelation. This wasn't just a figure skating routine. It was a full-blown pop concert on blades. She was flipping her halo braid, incorporating energetic dance moves mid-routine, perfectly embodying the choreography and the infectious energy of the song right there on the ice. The crowd, already buzzing, erupted with every beat, every head snap, every turn. It was a fusion of athletic grace and pure, unadulterated pop showmanship. It was daring. It was fresh. It was unequivocally Alysa. And what made this performance even more special, even more impactful, was the undeniable authenticity behind her choice. This wasn't some random track handed to her by a choreographer, a safe bet chosen for its broad appeal. No. More potent than any algorithm designed to predict trends. More effective than any multi-million-dollar ad campaign. More impactful than any radio push orchestrated by industry giants. Think about it for a moment. Alysa didn't have to skate to stateside at the Olympic Gala. She had just won gold. She could have chosen the safest, most universally recognizable classical music. She could have opted for something that would have pleased any hypothetical judges. Something that would have reaffirmed her status as a serious athlete. But she didn't. She chose to skate to her favorite song. She chose to have fun. She chose, above all else, to be herself. And that singular decision, that act of personal expression, moved the needle in a way that most major label campaigns, with all their resources and all their strategic planning, can only dream of. It was a reminder that genuine human connection, amplified by a global stage, can cut through all the noise. And let's not forget, this is also not the first time Alysa's distinctive music choices have sent shockwaves through the charts. When she clinched that gold medal, her free skate program to Donna Summer's MacArthur Park initiated a phenomenon of its own. That 1978 disco anthem, a nearly 50-year-old track, saw its Spotify streams surge by an astonishing 1,092% in a mere 48 hours. Let that incredible fact sink in for a moment. Alysa Liu, a Gen Z athlete, brought a nearly 5-decade-old track to millions of people, many of whom had never heard it before, breathing new life into a classic, and now she's done the same, but with an even more explosive impact. For a relatively new song, demonstrating a consistent, undeniable power to shape cultural listening habits. There's also something profoundly beautiful, almost poetic, about the connection between these two artists. PinkPantheress explicitly stated that she was obsessed with figure skaters when I was younger. And here, standing at the apex of that very sport, is Alysa Liu, an Olympic gold medalist, who is in turn obsessed with PinkPantheress. They are quite literally each other's fans. That kind of full-circle energy, that mutual, authentic admiration, is incredibly rare in the often transactional world of celebrity and entertainment. And the internet, with its uncanny ability to sniff out inauthenticity, can feel the genuine resonance in that connection. It's a powerful testament to the idea that passion begets passion. The ripple effects continue. Zara Larsson is currently in the midst of her Midnight Sun tour, and when she performed stateside at her Los Angeles show earlier this week, the crowd, now fully aware of the song's incredible journey, absolutely went off. A song that had been steadily climbing the charts for months, building its base, suddenly felt like a massive anthem, a collective celebration, because it had just been performed, in the most spectacular fashion imaginable, at the Olympics, solidifying its place in cultural memory. So what then is the Alysa Liu effect? It's more than just a viral moment. It's what happens when a genuine fan, an authentic individual with deeply felt passions, is given the biggest stage in the world to express themselves. It's what happens when authenticity meets opportunity in a way that is utterly unscripted and entirely organic. It's what happens when an athlete refuses to be confined to the singular definition of just an athlete and insists, defiantly and beautifully, on being an artist too. Alysa Liu didn't set out to save Stateside's chart run. She didn't plot a meticulously calculated strategy to boost PinkPantheress's global profile. She just loved the song. She just wanted to have fun. And somehow, in a world saturated with manufactured moments, that was enough. That was enough to change everything. That was enough to remind us of the enduring, untamed power of pure, unadulterated passion. If you found yourself captivated by this story, if it resonated with you, I encourage you to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more tales of unexpected cultural impact, and let me know in the comments below, what other songs do you think deserve the Olympic treatment? Because if Alysa Liu keeps skating with this much heart, this much joy, and this much impact, we might just need to start paying very, very close attention to her entire playlist. The future of music might just depend on it.